As you know, yesterday, Kim Kardashian visited President Trump to talk prison reform, instantly incurring the wrath of that perpetual scowl known as Jim Acosta. Here's CNN's Frown Prince, lamenting our president's lack of seriousness.
Forget about the fact that Kim Kardashian is here at the White House today and what planet that is anything resembling normal, because it's not. She shouldn't be here talking about prison reform. It's very nice that she is here, but that's not a serious thing to have happened here at the White House.
Ooh, Mr. Sophisticated. Seriously, does this guy ever have any fun? Something tells me he would complain about freshly laundered pajamas. It's the only good thing I could think of. I get it, though. Kim's not an important celebrity, the kind that showed up when President Obama was in charge. I mean, she's no John Legend. Am I right, Jimmy?
I'm going to push the president to get more involved in criminal justice reform.
If you change your mind about running for office, give CNN the scoop.
I will. I will.
John Legend.
Don't hold your breath.
Don't hold your breath. We might just a little bit.
Oh, Jimmy. Fact is, a lot of celebrities visited Obama: John Legend, Jay-Z, Rihanna, Beyonce, Seinfeld, Timberlake, but that never bothered Jim. So the real story is that there are those in the media who still can't step outside their own bias. Even when Trump does something good or something they agree with or something that other presidents have done many times before, they act as though it's a horrible first, and it's most certainly awful. So Trump hears out a celebrity over a case involving a woman who served 20 years of a life sentence for a first-time nonviolent drug crime. Don't you think maybe Acosta would find that a bit refreshing? But it isn't about the prisoner or Kim, it's about Trump. And for the next 6.5 years, it will always be about Trump. Seems like Jim is stuck in a prison of his own making.
Ooh, what a metaphor.
Whoa. I wrapped it up in a nice little package, and I hand it over to you, Jesse. Clearly a product of bias. There was one variable, was Trump, and the whole story changes.
Well done, Gutfeld. Take a lap, Acosta. You got crushed. And, it's great that now you have this internet. It's like an encyclopedia of hypocrisy.
Yep.
You go back, I think he told a late-night show the other day, I was just as tough on Obama as I am on Trump. And then if you look on the internet, it's him just giving Obama wet kisses at all these press conferences. I don't mind Acosta. I think it's fine that he does what he does, but own it. You are in the tank for the left. You hate Donald Trump. Don't hide behind CNN. You're biased. Just come to terms with it. If you were on the right and you were harassing and lobbing loaded questions at Obama, I'm sure you'd have people lauding you. That's fine.
Jesse would be one.
I'd be like, hell of a job. This guy's got a real stomach for this. But I just have to correct one thing. They're calling this woman who Kim Kardashian is lobbying for this first-time nonviolent drug offender. According to the AP, at the time she was arrested, she was running a multi-million-dollar cocaine ring with South American drug lords and laundering millions of dollars.
Still, life without parole?
Listen, maybe it was a little too harsh, but let's not characterize her as like maybe she sold a dime bag on the street once. This is massive amounts of cocaine for many, many years.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Well, there are a lot of drug dealers who've sold much more damaging drugs who have done far less time, and they get parole. I just want to say about Acosta. I mean, I'm proud of him because, I have an affiliation in the sense that his dad was a Cuban refugee, and I like to see the American dream come true, and Latin pride and all that. He is uptight and inconsistent at times, and I think he is very disrespectful of President Trump. But I think Kim Kardashian going to the White House is fabulous. If that's what it takes for them to talk about prison reform and sentencing reform and issues like
it's a boring topic. You need a little pizzazz to get people excited about it.
You got to have something to get to the presidency. I mean, there's so many catastrophes competing for center stage on the world platform there that you need someone like her to push it over. And I am delighted, not that you mentioned it, that President Trump has pardoned Dinesh D'Souza. I want him to use this pardon power a lot more. I think that he hinted that Rod Blagojevich, the former governor of Illinois, would be pardoned. He got 18 years for saying, oh, man, I can't wait to get something for this seat. I mean, so what? I mean, it wasn't a crime at all. I think Peter Fitzgerald, who's on Jim Comey's best friend on the team, defending Comey, he was the prosecutor there in Illinois. It was terrible. Yeah. Blagojevich, Martha Stewart. I mean, she didn't even, she was in the clear, and then she lied to a Fed. She didn't know that you couldn't tell a mistruth when you didn't raise
I would
your
like to preemptively lobby for a pardon from the president, just in case.
I want to
get in
pardon
trouble.
Jedediah and Dana so they have time to speak. Jed, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was just going to say that it's funny because of the issue at hand of prison reform, and you know that Acosta agrees with this likely.
Yes.
It's very likely. So he had to, even though he agrees on the issue, he had to twist and contort himself because it's Trump that he has to oppose it. He has to have a problem with it. And I think that's when it's interesting, because when it's an issue that, you know, they oppose, it's one thing. But when it's an issue that you know somebody like that probably supports, and many people do, and you have to nail it just because it's Trump, that's what makes it so funny for the audience, I think.
Dana?
Well, I'll talk about the celebrity angle, which is that I don't really care what their political views are, and I don't want to read them on Twitter necessarily. I don't take much stock in them. They're free to do it, but it just doesn't persuade me at all. But I would say that somebody like Angelina Jolie, when she decided to become a UN ambassador to talk about the plight of children and refugees around the world, that was effective.
Yeah.
So if you have a platform and you want to do good with it, I think that's to be admired. I would also say, though, on the pardon front, that was not the pardon I was expecting today. I mean, we've talked a couple of days about Matthew Charles, who is back in, he's actually back in jail. It's a government error. I hear that it is being kicked around at the White House that his sentence would be commuted or that he would get a pardon, and possibly even this week. And I think that's much more warranted and urgent than rewarding political allies and celebrities.
But he did do Jack Johnson, which is pretty great.
Again, that is great. It's also posthumous. This is a guy who was actually being sent back to prison unnecessarily.
All right.